Good evening, friends. Today on the board of We the Women of India, we have with us Mr. R.N. Mathur, senior advocate. He is practicing since 1981, so almost 39 years by now. He has so far handled immense amount of cases, handled important cases, represented bodies like central government and other bodies of government. He has been double AG, Additional Advocate General for the government of Rajasthan from 1999 to 2003. He is at present on the advisory board of the governor of state of Rajasthan. I need not to consume much of the time giving his intro because he is a name to reckon with when you go to Rajasthan. And a body of work is something for a lawyer to maybe envy to. Sir, most welcome on the board. I know the subject, the causes relating to women, and these issues are too dear to you. And I know how much you feel about them. I would be requesting you to have your, share some views, some experience, or maybe the cases you have done so that enlightening the members of WWI and the people who watch us. Over to you, sir. Most welcome. Sir.
Thank you, Shobha. And Prachi and all friends. I feel honored and also I'm excited that I'm a member of this group and would share my experiences and thoughts. A verse in the Mandukya Upanishad, which I often remember and recollect regarding the status of women at present, and that is, Istri Namah Ashikshit Patutva. This is in Sanskrit, and if I translate it into English, it means, and the translation is, I quote, women, even if uneducated, possess great wisdom. These were the days when the Mandukya Upanishad was written, much before the Ramayana Kal. Compared to that, nowadays, can we claim and do we say the same thing? Yes. Istri, even if uneducated, possess the great wisdom, but do not possess the respect which she deserves in the society. And therefore, this group, and therefore, the fundamental rights in the Constitution, which says that on the basis of the sex, there will be no discrimination, but discrimination at large in the society everywhere, right from the birth. I would say that discrimination is there in the minds of the people, not only amongst the male, but even the females suffer from this. They also discriminate, women discriminate against women. And during my entire career as a lawyer so far, I have come across a few cases where I have seen that the discrimination is to such a great extent, right from bottom up to the top level. Now, how to eradicate that? We have a number of laws. We have laws in the service laws which says, all right, everyone is similar. We have the laws in the criminal jurisprudence. There's no dearth of the laws, but implementation is rare. And even if implementation is there, that is also discriminatory. The situation even in the police stations, which are Mahila Thanas, is worst. No woman would prefer to go and visit the Mahila Thana where the SHO is necessarily always a female. I have seen even in the hospitals, especially the hospitals which are exclusively for the women nurses misbehave with the women. To the extent that the women patients would not prefer to go to the exclusively preferred hospitals which are exclusively reserved for the women. I recollect one incident which is one of the treasures of my life as far as the cases conducted are concerned. long ago, around 25 years back, women came to me and she did not show her face to me. She was a class 4 employee in the railways. And in the state of Rajasthan, there is a practice of parda. So she was having gungat, parda. Narrated her story, which is really heart-touching, and I cannot forget that. The story was that her husband died, and she was given appointment on compassionate grounds. A woman of around the age of 23, 24 years. After getting employment on compassionate grounds, the assistant personal officer forced her to come to his house and said that no, her duty will be at his house. When she refused, she was transferred from Kota to Agra, a distant place. A widow having a child of 6 months was harassed like this. I filed a petition on her behalf. The court came to the rescue. Interim order was granted, and eventually after a year or two, the petition was also allowed, and a disciplinary inquiry was initiated against the assistant personal officer. She came later on with a small packet of sweet and said, "Sir, I don't have anything to pay to you, but please accept this sweet." That fee is more than what anybody else could have paid or has paid to me. I have that satisfaction of conducting that case, and since then, I have adopted a few practices. While as an additional advocate general, I passed an order that no women officer will visit to my office after office hours. This is a special concession only to the women officer in charges. Knowing well that women has the responsibilities, a working woman has responsibility not only the workplace, but at home also. So she has to serve twice, at 2 places, at home. And a husband would always expect, prepare the tea, prepare the food, and if the food is to be prepared by somebody else, at least serve it. So this is the discrimination, not only at the workplace, at the home also. The women has to face discrimination everywhere. Even father would discriminate, a mother would discriminate while sending to school, while giving food. This may not be there, we may not see it, but this is happening in the rural areas. The female child are not given the quality of food which is given to the male child. They are not given the milk, whereas the brother is given the milk, the sister is not given the milk. So therefore I said that discrimination is in the mind of the people. They think that as far as female is concerned, their very birth is a curse. And therefore, so many cases of women infanticides. We come across these cases. Many doctors very casually say, "Sir, what this law is?" When the doctors would come to the lawyer's chambers, "What this law is? We are not doing anything. The rule is that you should display your name on the apron." They said, "Sir, what is the violation?" "No, this is required. It is required for the reason that in case you are violating the law, at least your identity is disclosed." And therefore, all the laws have been framed. When we discuss all these things on a platform, in the parliament or any platform, we are different persons, but in practice, we are all different persons. I don't know whether I am a different person in practice or not. I make an effort not to be a different person, but factually we all are. And therefore, the first requirement is not to frame the laws and laws and laws alone, but to educate the people. How to educate the people? Education has to be at the initial stage. When the child goes to the nursery classes, should be given education to respect the female child, to give preference to the female child. And only then this we will be able to overcome the mental slavery that women is not as powerful, not as compatible as the man is. The medical science says women is powerful, may not be physically, but mentally. And ultimately, it is the buddhi that is the real power. And if mentally she is grown up, if mentally she has the power, she has no reason to be said that she is weaker section of the society. I was arguing a case on Article 15 when the women reservation was given to the in the state of Rajasthan, and the court asked me. The judge later on adored the bench in the Supreme Court also. Well, Mr. Mathur, this is not an discrimination under Article 16. I said that no, this is not a case of Article 16, this is a case of Article 15. And thereafter I had to say that in Article 15, this reservation has been given to women because she belongs to weaker section of the society. That day, I thought in the evening, was I justified in saying that she is a weaker section of the society? And I repented using this word that she is a weaker section of the society. No, she is not a weaker section of the society. We consider her as a weaker section of the society. We have made her weaker section of the society. The God has not made her weaker in the society. God has not made the women to be called as a weaker section of the society. This discrimination is by the men. And I'm more on a philosophical side instead of the legal side, because as I said, the legal side is already there, occupied by the laws, many laws. Therefore, the first thing which I would suggest is to concentrate on the education. The discrimination is to the extent that even if a woman is selected for the topmost civil services, from my experience, I would say they are not given good postings. A very senior woman officer who retired from the rank of the chief secretary, her 7 APRs were spoiled by a superior officer. And the story which she narrated was that, well, I am a single woman and the reporting officer wanted some favor from me. I could get her 5 APRs corrected, but I still feel that 2 APRs, the legal juggleries were such that I could not get them corrected. And the women, though a very intelligent officer, was never given posting as a chief secretary, though she had the pay scale of the chief secretary. That is the stage of mental slavery we are suffering, not at the bottom, even at the top level. The police officers, the women who is inducted in the police services, they are not given the field postings. They are considered to be better for the office postings. How to solve this problem? Apart from education, what I feel is there should be strict regulations and strict laws as far as the workplace is concerned. I would also share one more thing. A very senior lawyer from the Udaipur visited my chamber when I was Additional Advocate General. Shobha, I'm more on instances.
Yes, sir.
A very senior lawyer, she visited when I was an Additional Advocate General, and I'm sorry, the office of the Additional Advocate General was not having even a proper lavatory for the women. Most of the courts do not have. If you go to the district courts, the women do not have a room. If you go to the High Court, in the Rajasthan High Court, there is no separate room for the women. How to work? How? I do not suggest any lawyer, a female lawyer, to say to join and practice in the district court because they don't have the adequate facility to maintain their dignity. Same is the condition in the hospital. If you are doing MBBS and you are a female, go to gynecology, you are not fit for surgery. I think I have consumed a lot of time, and therefore I would not consume much time, but my only suggestion is to concentrate on education, to enforce the laws more strictly, and in that field, whatever assistance we can provide, I assure you, I'm always there to provide assistance. Thanks a lot.
Sir, it was enlightening. And you know, when you said instances, actually that is needed, because by instances, these are the live examples. And you have noticed them, you have actually those old cases also you remember, that shows how much it has touched your heart. I was just wondering, you just tell me, like, how do you think you can get it, any one aspect to be changed? Something to address upon education and all other parts. We keep saying, and you know what you're referring to, they got education. Both men and women, they reached to hierarchy, the highest of the hierarchy, and still the women were suffering. So despite that education, what else we are talking actually? What education? Because that qualification they got, they reached to the heights, and still that sufferance is there. The discrimination is there. This mindset is not changing, and why?
Well, Shobha, I would say one thing. And when I say education, it is not the degree, the curriculum. I mean, yes. the subject should be such that every person, whether a male or a female, should be taught to respect the women. You should have in all your books, whether it is Hindi or English or social science, the first chapter should be respect the women. That should be the first chapter. I would say include the chapter of Ahalya Bai, include the chapter of Rani Lakshmi, Jhansi Ki Rani, but by giving such type of the training right from the beginning, when the mind of the child is at the formation level, even at that stage, you have to put the seeds in the mind of the child that, well, the women must be respected, and only you will be called a cultured man only when you respect a woman.
Yes.
It is not the degree which I am talking about, the type of education which is required to be imparted.
You know, there's a young lawyer, like she is a law student right now. She is in our group. And I was just talking to her just to know her, because she dropped a private message after joining the WhatsApp group. So I was just talking about this, that despite we all knowing all of it, we keep doing that discrimination and we keep failing. She said, ma'am, I have a 5-year-old son, and even I do that discrimination. If he cries, I tell him, don't behave like a girl. Or sometimes I say, you're a boy, behave like that. She says, whenever I say, I realize, oh my God, even I'm committing that mistake. So a woman conscious of all these things, well educated, and by default, these things do happen. The discrimination, the differentiation is so ingrained in all of us that despite knowing, we keep doing it. I'll just pose you a question. What about if we say, when we say reservation for women, when we say some advantages, we put them in a bracket of a weaker section actually. So why not no reservation or reservation for men?
No, I believe the reservation should be there. For a while, for some time, we will say reservation because that is a weaker section of the society, and it cannot be denied that a weaker section of the society, for the reason that she has been suppressed for ages. She has been suppressed from a very, very long time, and therefore she is a weaker section of the society. But a time will come when they will have adequate representation. Then of course the reservation can go. But to give see, when a plane flies, a thermal has to be given. And therefore, I personally believe that reservation is rightly given. It should be given to the women in all fields, almost in all fields.
So that was a very, very enlightening session. And we would keep requesting you to please keep coming on the board and share your experiences, sometimes word of advice, and keep blessing us with some guidance. So to walk this path as long as possible we can, and let's try to make some changes, some difference. Next time, sir, it should be in Hindi.
I was thinking about it. That
We
should
have
I
to
speak in Hindi or not?
different languages.
Anyway, it will be in Hindi. It's a mother tongue. Thank you. I feel honored, Shubha. So nice.
Thank you so much, sir.